Satan, we're gonna tear your kingdom down. Satan, we're gonna tear your kingdom down. Oh yeah, you've been building your kingdom all over this land. Oh, but Satan, we're gonna tear your kingdom down. One by one, your kingdom's falling down. Oh, one by one, your kingdom must come down, must come down. You've been building your kingdom, all over this land. And Satan, we're gonna tear your kingdom down. Woo! Lord have mercy. Good night, my sugar. Good morning. It's after 3 o'clock in the morning. Good morning, my sugars. I am so glad that insomnia brought you my way tonight, or this morning, or however you want to say it. I couldn't sleep, and I saw something that interested me, so I thought it might interest you. In the words of one of the fellow YouTubers, I was just minding my own business and yours too. Man, so for all of those who might remember, hello to everybody that's coming in or dropping by. Thank you for liking and subscribing and supporting my little old YouTube channel. But as we have been talking about and discussing over the last few months, um, after I learned about this Mr. Alicio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, going around and recruiting people's children, to add on to his harem of cultic wives or whatnot or whatsoever. So, as we know, I want to say back in December, a couple of his members left. And that was Key, who was one of the primary financial supporters that he had, to the tune of more than $300,000. Yep, that's right. That young man went into a savings that his deceased mother left behind and gave over to this man, trusted this man, and gave him over $300,000 that he squandered and mismanaged in less than 8 months. Okay? Buying frivolous things, spending it on whatever, and then he started going back to the public, asking for donations and whatnot. We've also watched the unfolding of other people who left Carbonation, where they are now taking camp in Patinque, New Mexico, and so now they're living in an Airbnb there. So along with Key was his cult wife. She left also, and Vibes, and then also Stephanie, aka Serenity, her cult husband Rambo, and their baby Zen. So I think Vibes and Key are still in Mexico somewhere, while Serenity and Rambo decided to make their home in Hawaii. So, on yesterday, or a couple of days ago, Another one of the faithful few that had been with him for quite some time, with the cult name of Pure, took flight. So the interesting part about this is, not only did Pure donate money, but when he came, he was the only one that came with a vehicle. So he came with a van, but his van, according to what the other people are saying there at the camp, the vehicle was not really running properly or what have you. So Nature Boy decided to invest money. He said he invested $2,600 to get the van up and running. And just as they got the van up and running, um, Pure decided to take flight. He said he was ready to go. So he got his belongings and he left. Now, over the past few weeks, in addition to all of Nature Boy's regular antics and rants and raves and his um, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning roll calls to hit their feet and stand as or sit through hours long lectures while he's ranting and raving about something that he's upset about, or his the whatever his mania is taking him through at that particular moment, or if him and Eliana, whose real name is Velvet, are not fighting back and forth, um, and she's just had dealing with a newborn baby. Um, so they're already not sleeping because of that, but and then they have to get up early before day in the morning, and they all have chores and they all have drills and things that they must go through. So, along with being that and being humiliated publicly anytime Nature Boy feels like humiliating them. I mean, if there's something that he wants to blast them about, he goes online, he gets in the internet, he makes them stand at attention or sit next to him, and he publicly effaces them and ridicules them and makes mock of them for the world to see. And he makes them his public spectacle. And so I guess at this, and then of course they cannot move unless he says move. They can't eat, they can't drink, they can't sleep, they can't do anything unless they have permission, and he has total control of everything that goes on in what he says his house. So, as a matter of fact, when they were going to get repairs on the car, they stayed longer than Nature Boy thought they ought to have stayed, and their batteries on their phones died or what have you. I'm not sure, but whatever the case may be, they didn't call and check in with him, and they had been gone too long. So when they finally came back, he was on IG Live and he publicly ridiculed them and scolded them. And he made them drop down at that point and give him 50 push ups. So sometimes he punishes them with calisthenics. If he, um, if they do not bow to him when they come in his presence or leave his presence, they have to drop right then and give him whatever whatever he orders them to do. So along with all of these things, some of them are really growing tired and weary, and some of them are having the strength enough to walk away because they are all brainwashed and manipulated. So Pure left, and he took his van with him. Mm. So of course Nature Boy didn't like that too well. There's nothing he could do because the van is in his name, but he's angry because he just spent $2,600 according to him getting this man's van fixed, and now all of a sudden he took off and left with the van, and then somebody out in the street told him that the young man had sold the van. All of this within the last 48 hours. So that brings us up to today. So as of today, two of his cult wives, his current cult wives, one who was one of the newer young ladies to come, Ra, and another is Aya, who's been there with him for quite a while, decided that they wanted to leave together tomorrow. So that makes three of his cult members that have left or will be leaving within a 72-hour period. Now, mind you, he lost four members at once, and then now he's losing another three. So that's seven of his members. Of course, he's gained a few and supposed to have more coming. But he's losing a lot of the key people that have been there and the key people that have been used to draw in his donations and his viewers and all of this type of thing. Um, Ra leaving and Aya leaving is kind of a big thing for this whole carbonation movement, because these are two of his wives. These are two of the people that he's been intimate with on a consistent basis. So, well, they have been back and forth. Ra uh, had been given to another one of the cult members to become uh, his wife. She wasn't happy, so she went back to Nature Boy. And that's another thing that they do. They pass these women back and forth, and they are all being sexually active with these women who have all been sexually active with Nature Boy. Now, the thing of it is Nature Boy is known to have um, herpes. He's known to have had unprotected sex with several people who were, in fact, HIV positive. He's confessed this out of his own mouth. Um, when his his direct main wife Eliana came, she also said that she had I believe it's herpes. It was either herpes or syphilis. It was herpes. She confessed that she had herpes when she first came. Now, mind you, that their practice is he teaches that disease is a dis-ease of the mind. So he tells them to go bathe in the water in the river and be cleansed. And it's all a state of the mind. So you're not really sick. It's all the way it's your lower self processing this and whatnot. So he's telling them to, you don't take medication here. We don't believe in that. Which is how Mama Dia passed away on his watch while she was in his camp, because she stopped taking her medication and she had a heart condition. And this woman died within 8 months of being in his under his watch. So none of these people are being treated for any of these illnesses. Ileana just had a newborn baby. Since she left the hospital, the baby was not inoculated. She was not treated for anything. Since she left the hospital, the baby has not had a 6-week checkup. Um, she has not had a follow-up checkup. None of them have had any medical clearances whatsoever. Everybody that comes there has had um, some type of um, sexual indecency, sexual illness, mental illness, or some type of social delay at each and every person. So, and then they're going untreated. Some of them should be medicated for their mental issues, and they're not taking their medication. Some of them have molested children. Okay? Some of them have molested children that were related to them, as much as one of them molested his younger sisters, and he confessed this. So all of these people, it's like a cesspool. It's a sexual cult that is interchanging partners with each other, and they're calling it, this is my wife, that's my wife, and one of the running jokes had been, one of the young ladies is pregnant now. Well, she was once Elisha's wife, or Nature Boy's wife. Now she's True's wife, and they don't know who the baby's daddy is. It's between the two brothers, the two cult members. Now, Nature Boy made a joke a few days ago about, well, hey, if it's my baby, then we'll just be brother husbands. She'll be both of our wives. One of the other guy was like, no, I ain't having that. You know what I'm saying? That's just that. He was like, well, how we gonna work that out? Cause she's gonna be my. But that's just, and she was laughing while they're passing this around. She's laughing. So it's like he has these people so gone that they not only accept him, ridiculing them, embarrassing them in front of the world, but they're living this fantasy life like all of this is okay. Like, and she's laughing, she's grinning and laughing, and she thinks it's funny and cute how they talk about, how they both had her, and how they don't know who the baby's father is, and how they're going back and forth on, oh, okay, well, you have her this time, or you have her this time, or, when I had her, it was like, she was like, it was just really crazy. He was very descriptive on how the sexual interaction was. He was very descriptive on her private area, and all of it. And it was like all of this while she's sitting in front of her so-called husband. And he just has to sit there and act like he's not affected by it. Well, he confesses that he really loves her. He really loves his wife. But she's 6 months pregnant, and she doesn't know whether it's her so-called husband's baby or her chief's baby. And that's just sick. It's sick. It's demented. I am so glad that some of these young people are coming to their minds, even if it's not their total right mind. They are leaving and getting away from there where hopefully they can grasp a hold to a light, and see the light at the end of the tunnel and get help, seek medical help, seek mental attention, whatever it is that most of all, seek God, the real one and true and living God. Not this man. This man confesses himself to be the second coming of Jesus Christ. Now, if that don't scare you, nothing else will. He has signed his own death warrant. This man has signed his own death warrant. At this point, he thinks, or he speaks, that he is God, that he is equivalent to God, that he is the second coming of Christ. When they get on, if you look at some of their recordings, they get on and they say, giving honor to their Lord and Savior, Elisha the Christ. Are you absolutely kidding me? If you don't kill yourself from HIV/AIDS, buddy, you're going to kill yourself from blaspheming God. Because that's something you can't do. If AIDS don't catch you, the Lord Jesus sure going to, and either way it go, you still going to have to bow and confess who is really Lord. And that's the one and only Jesus Christ. I don't know what he think he's getting away with, but he needs to really come to realization. But not only that, when this brother stands before God, he don't have to stand for himself. He got to stand for all those souls that he led astray. All of that blood is required to his hand. Mama Dia's blood, that woman that died, that other young lady and her child that died under his care, they all died after being under his care. I should say that. Because they made it back to civilization before they died, the mother and baby. But Mama Dia died on land. And then they took all her belongings, wouldn't give her belongings back to her family or anything. So he has to pay for all of those things. He has to pay for what he has done. He has to pay for what he is doing. But his kingdom is crumbling. His kingdom is crumbling. And I am not ecstatic for the downfall of another black brother, another brother. I'm ecstatic for the downfall and the victory God got over the enemy's camp. That's what I'm excited about. This brother is not doing anything that's noble. He's not doing anything that's praiseworthy. He's not doing anything that's beneficial to this world. Neither is he doing anything that's beneficial to the kingdom of God. So he needs to pray that his soul be spared. That's what he needs to be praying for. But at this point, he don't think that. The other thing is the man is deteriorating before our very eyes. He's gone from this big, swole, muscular person to a very frail looking individual, and he denies that he's sick. I have been a person that worked in the healthcare profession for over 35 years. I know what a person looks like when they have heart failure. I know what a person looks like when they have kidney failure. I know what a person looks like when they have liver failure. I know what a person looks like when they have cancer. And baby, I know what a person looks like when they have full-blown AIDS. And this man has those same characteristics as an individual with full-blown AIDS. Google a picture of a person that's have full-blown AIDS and they're at the last stages, and look at him and compare those pictures. His hairline is receding. His hair is thinning. His eyes are recessed. His temple is concave, or indented. Okay? His skin is peeling. He has, all kind of peeling and scaling all over his body, behind his ears, around his hairline, which is because his immune system is breaking down and it's not able to fight against anything. I noticed today that a few of them are coughing and sneezing. And they have colds. They're in the tropics. They're in the tropics. It's not too likely to have many colds and symptoms like that when you are in the same weather all the time. It's not as like they haven't traveled or anything. Um, um, Even he says that some things is because of the B6 diet. Okay, one, he's been on that B6 diet for long enough that his body is accustomed to it. Two, a B6 diet is not going to make you look like you're sick and dying. This man looks like he's dying. If you take a look at him, he's frail. He's aging. When he looks, his eyes are bulging and they're wandering around like he's trying hard to focus. A person with full-blown AIDS, their vision gets worse. it begins to blur. It begins to deteriorate. Everything about the body begins to break down. At this point, Eliana just had a baby for this man. This baby's skin, and this is heartbreaking. The baby's skin is doing the same thing his skin is doing. I'm sorry, give me a second. This baby is innocent. This baby did not ask to come here, especially under these conditions. That poor child, her skin, she's a dark complected baby. But if you look around her hairline, it's pink. It's very discolored. She has blotches in her skin. Her hands look raw. Eliana looks frail. A lot of them look ill. Some of the ones that just got there, they look stressed, frail. They eat once a day, and they're only eating the B6 diet once a day. Now, I know that causes them to lose a lot of weight, but they look malnourished, like they're not eating at all. I am grateful that the kids that are leaving, and I say kids because I have children, they're even his age. I have kids just about his age. I am so glad that these children have decided to go. And I pray that all of them would disband, but I pray that they get help. And I pray that he is stopped, because he is passing diseases around, and these kids are going back out into the world. And because they have the mindset that disease or sickness is a way of thinking, they are going back into society, meeting other individuals and possibly having unprotected sex and having the same strains of the illnesses that has been passed through that carbonation camp and passing it out here. That's how epidemics are started. That's how pandemics are made. And it's unfortunate. I'm glad they're leaving so that they can be free from that camp. But I'm afraid for the other people that they may come in contact with. I'm afraid there are 2 other women in that camp right now that are pregnant. 2 more babies that are about to be born in those conditions. And that's not fair. It's not fair. One of them could possibly be his child, directly being a carrier and exposed to the same illnesses. Now, there are slight chances that these babies couldn't be affected. And I pray that they make those numbers, that they are those statistics. But it's highly unlikely. And that's the part that scares me. That baby Baby Eliana is beautiful. She has the most chocolate, beautiful skin, beautiful hair. She is a gorgeous baby, but she doesn't deserve what she was born into. Shame on her mother. Shame on her father. Shame on the curses that's going to be upon their seed. Shame on them for creating those generational curses. Because that's exactly what they're going to happen. It's going to happen if they don't denounce that mess and walk away and seek God, ask for forgiveness, be healed and delivered. It's a shame. It's a shame. That's my update on the Carbonation Chronicles. It's been a while since I even made an update on it, but I thought that was worthy of a few minutes. I'm not going to give too much more time to it. Thank you guys for dropping in. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because I think this is information that's important to know. Again, we're talking about Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, and Carbonation. If you don't know anything about it, look it up. Share it. Don't let your kids become one of those kids, because it can happen to the best of them. And they were showing there's a beautiful young lady who says she's on her way to join them. There's another young man, a Hispanic young man, he's on his way to join them. And they're giving up everything. And not only are they coming and they're giving up everything, they have to cut ties with their families. See, the reason why he wants them to cut ties with their families, first he tells them, your family doesn't love you. Your family really don't care for you. They just want to control you. They don't want you to get what the Creator has for you. You have to, in order to become your higher self, you have to denounce all of those things in your lower self. And your family in Babylon is your lower self. So you need to come here with me and let me be your teacher and let me show you how to be free and get your higher self. You come and live here in the tropics. It's beautiful here. It's a land flowing with milk and honey. We have fun on here. It's lit. We make music. We are creative. We have arts. We have this. We have that. All the things that the devil does to attract you and get you in. And once they suck you in, they draw you in, you're trapped. Now you can't call your mom, you can't call your dad. He controls your social media. He controls what you eat, where you go, what you do, no connection to the outside world whatsoever. No TV, no nothing. It's all about what goes on here in Carbonation. And he controls the atmosphere. So he controls what you see, what you do, where you go, what you eat, who you sleep with. If you don't come with a husband, he's going to give you one. You got to create. You got to procreate. So you got to be with somebody making babies, whether you want a baby or not. You got to do it because that's what you came here for, because that's what we believe in. And if your husband can't break you in, if you are a virgin and you've never been touched and your husband is not able to do it, you're going to come with me, and me and my wife's going to break you in. We're going to turn you out, and then we'll send you back to your man and let him finish you. And if I decide that you look good enough, then you're going to come and be with me and my wives. And I'm going to make you one of my women. And we all going to sleep together, and y'all all going to please me. I'm going to give you the honor to please me. And if I feel like both of you are giving me fellatio at the same time, that's what I want. That's what you're going to do. Because you're my woman and you do what I say do. That's exactly the mentality that he has. That's the way it goes. Because he controls his environment. It's the same thing with the R. Kelly situation. He cuts them off from the world, cuts them off from their families, reprograms them, conditions them, trains them the way he wants them to be, brainwashes them to thinking that their families don't care, and then he has them barking like a dog, hopping on one foot, whatever you like, whatever you like, whatever you like, being that queen to be, doing whatsoever he desires. So that's that. So like I said, like and share. Share it with somebody that you think might be interested in something like avoiding something like this. So I'm going to go for now. I love you guys on purpose and ain't nothing you can do about it. And it's not goodbye. It's just later for now. I love you, my sugar.